This is CTV News with Nafisa Karim.
Tonight, a storm delivers a prolonged stretch of heavy rain to parts of Vancouver Island. What you can do to stay safe, also ahead.
We are very fortunate. We have a lot of grandparent help.
More grandparents are playing Santa Claus as families struggle to cover the costs that come with the holidays. Plus, Adam finds out how a tattoo artist's Christmas past is inspiring him to help other families' Christmas presents. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Rain has been pouring down on parts of Vancouver Island all day, with a weather warning in effect for the capital region and the West Coast. CTV's Andy Garland reports on the rain and how to keep yourself and your neighborhood safe as water pools on the roads.
It's definitely umbrella weather today on Vancouver Island.
We've got an atmospheric river that's really impacting the south end of Vancouver Island right now more than anything else.
Environment Canada has issued a rainfall warning for the west side of the island as well as the capital region.
An additional 50 to 25 millimeters on top of the sort of 20 to 40 they've already had. And up the west side of the island, higher amounts than that. Port Renfrew probably seeing up over 100 millimeters.
Environment Canada is beginning to use a new color coding system on its website to show the severity of weather in a specific area.
Red warning should be the most severe, orange not quite as severe as a red, and yellow less severe than an orange.
City of Victoria is under that rainfall warning and posted to its social media accounts this afternoon, asking residents to help keep leaves and debris out of storm drains.
Really incumbent upon people to be aware of what they should be expecting this time of year. Lots of moisture out there. Culverts can be plugged.
If you're on the roads, police are urging you to slow down, watch for cooling water, and the potential of hydroplaning.
It increases your reaction time if something goes wrong. Going slowly means it's much more survivable and much less likely to get you hurt.
RCMP say pedestrians should also be cautious and wear reflective clothing while walking against the flow of traffic.
Drivers, you have to watch out for them, but pedestrians, pop out the earphones, put down the hood, really make sure you know where you're going and what kind of traffic is coming towards you.
Environment Canada expects the atmospheric river to ease off overnight. Andy Garland, CTV News.
Okay, Josh, let's get into it. You told us the fire hose was pointed at the island. You were right. This rain has not let up at all, still falling. So what are you tracking right now?
Yeah, it won't let up, Nafisa, until late this evening or overnight tonight, as you just heard. No rainfall, official rainfall totals in just yet, but we're probably past the midpoint of the rain, so I think there's less coming than what we've already had. There's Victoria and surrounding areas under this rainfall warning, and you heard in the story there, the yellow advisory that's been issued, so you got the yellow banner around that. That doesn't mean don't take this seriously. It's just not going to have as high an impact as these orange warnings for rainfall that we have through parts of the interior. Now, that rainfall is going to continue for the next few hours. This atmospheric river will also continue to push wave after wave of rain at us over the course of the next 4 or 5 days. So the yellows and the darker greens, that's the heavier rain, heaviest right now from Port Alberni off to the south of Nanaimo. It will gradually ease through this evening and overnight tonight, but we're probably still looking at anywhere between maybe 10 to 15 millimeters more rain in Victoria by the time we get to tomorrow morning. So there it is, tapering off overnight tonight. This is about 2 a.m. And then just cloudy skies to start the day in Victoria. Late in the day, we start to see a few more showers make their way onto western parts of the island and again into the Victoria area. In the north, you may see some showers tomorrow night as well, but the heaviest of the rain will hold off until Friday, Saturday. Could see upwards of 50 to 70 millimeters of rain through the course of Friday and Saturday as another wave of steady rain rolls in. Not bad temperatures, though, 6 to 10 degree range for highs. Somewhere in the 7 to 9 range for the next 5 days for inland areas. Some rain tapering off overnight tonight and then returning tomorrow night. And steadier rain on the way for Friday and Saturday, although not as much as we'll see elsewhere on the island. Gusty tomorrow with some showers, high of 9. Those showers probably push in midday and through the afternoon. Occasional rain Friday, but the heaviest will be Saturday out on the west coast, and especially for this time northern parts of the west coast. It was Port Renfrew area and south that had the heaviest of the rain with this last blast. It'll be Tofino north with the next one. Comox, some evening rain tomorrow after a cloudy day, and then steadier periods of rain for Friday and Saturday. Looks pretty windy on Saturday as well. Maybe 10 to 20 millimeters Friday, Saturday. Nanaimo, some evening showers tomorrow. So the rain tapers off overnight tonight. Cloudy for most of tomorrow, and then more wet weather tomorrow night and through the day Friday. Could see some late day showers as well on Saturday. And in Victoria, Thursday, temperatures basically hold steady in that 8 or 9 degree range. Rain, as we showed you, by about midnight should be done. Will be cloudy through the day and then into the evening hours. Chance of some scattered showers. That may linger into Friday morning, then cloudy and 11 degrees Friday afternoon. And no heavy, steady rain through the weekend, but both Saturday, Sunday could see some showers or some occasional periods of light rain. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So the worst is almost behind us, but more rain on the way over the course of the next 5 days.
Okay, thanks, Josh. Well, one thing this rain isn't doing is dampening the spirits at Uptown Shopping Center in Saanich, where our friends at 107.3 Virgin Radio are building a toy mountain.
It's been such an amazing morning here. It's been a busy one. We've had so many people stop
coming
by.
through, yes.
Virgin Radio has been broadcasting live on location all week, helping to collect toys in support of CFAX Santa's Anonymous. And as they often do here on the island, the community is showing up. Today, the staff at Uptown set up a special drive-through so that early morning commuters could stay dry while dropping off their donations. And that's not all. Uptown's general manager stopped by the morning show to make a special donation.
So grateful for everybody that came through and donated toys. We saw lots of moms and kiddos coming. We saw businesses coming this morning, so it was great to have everybody down to Uptown and supporting our community. And today we wanted to do something. We also wanted to give something back. So as everybody probably knows, we have Uptown gift cards that you can utilize at any one of our retailers. Everybody from Walmart to H&M to Meraki to Starbucks. And we wanted to donate so that the great people that are receiving some of these toys could get a gift card. And so we've donated $1,000 today in gift cards to Uptown.
Now, some people dropping off toys today say they're giving back to a community that was there for them in their time of need.
My family were immigrants from China, so we came here when I was 6 years old. And first couple of Christmases, this was, we got our gifts from this. I actually see a tennis racket there. I started playing tennis because I got gifted a tennis racket when I was 6 or 7, and I loved it. So I know how much this means to the kids, and also for the parents that may, it's a bit tough times right now, so may not be able to afford a gift. So it's a really nice gesture.
The week of giving wraps up Friday with the Miracle on Uptown Boulevard, a 12-hour fundraising radiothon from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. put on by our sister station, CFAX 1070, with all proceeds and donations going to CFAX Santa's Anonymous. A recent survey shows more and more grandparents are stepping up to help their cash-strapped children buy holiday gifts for their kids. CTV's BC Bureau Chief Andrew Johnson has the story.
3/4 of parents who answered a recent survey say creating a magical holiday is their top priority, but not everyone can afford it. Some of the holiday shoppers braving the rain in Vancouver today say they have tough decisions to make.
Everything is expensive now, and I just work part-time.
How's your budget looking?
Threadbare.
They're not alone among the hundreds of Canadian parents recently surveyed by Interact. 2/3 say rising costs are making it harder to manage holiday spending, and more than half are worried about overspending. You're going to stick to the budget?
I'm sticking to the budget.
As for that holiday budget, close to half of parents surveyed say they plan to spend less than $500 on gifts. A quarter are budgeting $500 to $1,000, and nearly 3 in 10 plan to spend $1,000 or more.
What kinds of gifts are you getting your 33-year-old?
Perhaps he's going to watch this thing.
That's right.
I'd rather not say.
Some parents are calling in reinforcements. More than 1 in 5 are relying on grandparents for holiday help. 1/3 say the grandparents are spending more than they are.
We are very fortunate. We have a lot of grandparent help. My son wants a trip, so my grandparents are contributing to money towards the trip.
Almost 2 in 5 parents admit digging themselves a financial hole every holiday season, with close to half saying it takes them until next spring to recover. RCMP
are asking for help in the search for a woman who was last seen in Ladysmith Sunday. Police say they're concerned for Jennifer Switzer's health and well-being. The 43-year-old was reported missing the day after she was last seen. Switzer has brown hair and eyes. She's about 5'3", and anyone with information on her whereabouts is asked to call local police or Crime Stoppers. Travelers and points collectors could take advantage of a new partnership between a BC-based airline and one of Canada's biggest carriers. Harbour Air passengers can now earn points on their flights through Aeroplan, which is Air Canada's loyalty program. By next year, they can use those points to book flights on seaplanes.
It gives the reach of a local airline, global reach through Airline partnership, and that means that people can essentially be earning points flying local, and then using those points as well as other collection opportunities to fly to anywhere in the world.
Harbour Air says it hopes this partnership benefits its regulars, meaning local travelers and people who fly for business. Still ahead, we'll show you some of the biggest spending pressures facing Canadians, and we'll also have this story.
She was getting phone calls. She was getting harassed.
Why some families want Canada to follow Australia's social media ban.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Plan, book, and safeguard your journeys. Explore the possibilities at expediacruises.ca.
What makes West Shore Parks and Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
A new report finds the cost of some rentals has fallen in Victoria, though that isn't the case on the Mid-Island. The data comes from the website rentals.ca. It says in November, a one-bedroom rental in Victoria cost an average of $1,975 a month. That's down roughly 5.5% compared to last year. In Nanaimo, the cost of a one-bedroom climbed by more than 4% to roughly $1,850. The Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation is providing some perspective on the rental market tomorrow with the release of its annual report. The Bank of Canada is keeping its key policy rate at 2.25% in the last interest rate decision of the year.
Deep U.S. tariffs on steel, aluminum, automobiles, and lumber have hit those sectors hard. And uncertainty about U.S. trade policy is weighing on business investment more broadly. But so far, the economy is proving resilient overall.
The central bank says the policy rate is at the right level to keep inflation close to 2%, while also helping the economy through what he called a period of structural adjustment. With more on some of the biggest spending pressures facing Canadians, here's Annie Bergeron-Oliver.
The malls may be busy, but this year many Canadians are focused less on presents and more on presents.
Me and all my friends make gifts for each other, and I feel like that makes it so much more lasting, and it's not like a cost worry thing in the holidays.
This holiday season, economic anxiety is high. According to a new Nanos report, 42% of people rank grocery prices as their top financial concern. 17% say their biggest concern is personal debt. 16% housing costs, 8% job security, and just 8% say they have no financial concerns.
You roll all that stuff up, and it's interesting, just paying for the groceries being the top concern that people think that they're going to have when it comes to 2026. So it's pretty basic.
The financial stress being tied to uncertainty around tariffs and the high cost of living.
If it was me, we'd be vegetarian, but I have good Canadian hockey players. They like their meat, milk, and cereal.
And for those wishing for prices to come down, the Bank of Canada says that would actually be bad news.
If we were to try to push the whole price level down, that would cause a severe recession in Canada. Nobody wants that.
So what can Canadians do to help their financial future? Experts say try tracking where money is coming in and going out.
Some lifestyles aren't sustainable anymore. Things have just gotten really expensive. So what you want to do with those big purchases, I think, is either avoid them or delay them or partition them. And maybe that's the best way to go.
Overall, inflation is expected to remain steady next year, with the Bank of Canada expecting it to hover around 2%. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Thousands of Air Transat passengers are breathing a sigh of relief as a pilot strike is averted. The pilots' union and Air Transat reached a tentative deal just hours before pilots were set to hit the picket lines. 750 pilots will now get a chance to vote to ratify the agreement. The union says the deal brings its members in line with industry standards and delivers on better job security, enhanced compensation, and more flexibility in scheduling. The airline calls it a complete overhaul of the pilots' collective agreement.
Found the right balance that will allow us to remain competitive, have competitive salaries, while preserving the DNA of offering affordable products to our customers.
About 20,000 flights have been canceled between yesterday and today, getting ready for the possible strike. Air Transat says the canceled flights won't be reinstated and ongoing reservations should not be affected. A groundbreaking social media ban is in effect for children under the age of 16 in Australia. They become the first in the world to be barred from opening accounts on popular platforms like Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
The legislation is the first of its kind in the world. Children in Australia under the age of 16 can no longer legally have accounts on social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. It's a law Amanda Ebinger wants to see passed here in Canada.
She was getting phone calls. She was getting harassed.
When Ebinger's daughter was 11, someone began posting rumors about her online. The attacks became so vicious, she started to self-harm and even considered taking her own life.
We took her to the hospital and she stayed there for the weekend. And then after that, I realized, okay, we can't be here anymore.
The family moved out of town to escape the harassment. Australia's law aims to prevent that type of online bullying and also shield young people from apps that have been shown to cause increased rates of depression, anxiety, and loneliness. The ban puts the onus on the tech companies to enforce age restrictions and remove accounts of those under the age of 16, or face fines of up to 49.5 million Australian dollars. Critics say the law is an infringement and will be tough to enforce. There are also concerns about kids losing a communication tool or being pushed into the darker parts of the internet. Proponents, though, say it's an important first step.
Generally, whenever you have one of these large policy changes, it's going to help some people and harm some people. And so I think Australia is making the bet that overall on the longer term, that this will be more helpful than harmful.
Australian officials acknowledge the implementation of this law won't be perfect and kids will likely exploit loopholes. Many countries and provinces here in Canada are exploring their own type of legislation, watching closely now at how things unfold in Australia.
Coming up, tattoo tribute. Adam finds out how a tattoo artist is striving to make a positive, permanent impact over the holidays. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Finally, Adam finds out how a tattoo artist's Christmas past is inspiring him to help other families' Christmas present on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
This tattoo is
of all the people Jesse Braden has paid permanent tribute to,
I have my mom's name.
his mom Carol has made the most enduring impression.
It's difficult when you're a single mom raising two kids and working and trying to put food on the table as well as provide Christmas presents.
But when Jesse looks back on his Christmas past,
it's very cool taking a trip through time.
He sees his younger self always happy on the big day, despite the dread he often felt during the days leading up to it.
There's obviously a lot of comparison. You see what other people receive and you're left with nothing but to kind of look at what you have.
Or in Jesse's case, don't have. Yet come Christmas, he would always find he did have something wonderful under the tree.
I obviously thought that a lot of those were brought to me by Santa, and then later in life, as I became more mature, my mom kind of informed me of the help that we received throughout the years.
And Carol always encouraged Jesse to be grateful, and whenever they could, pay that generosity forward.
It kind of thrust me into the man that I grew up into being.
Now that he runs his own tattoo shop, Rebel Ink., Jesse and his fellow artists raise thousands of dollars every year by donating all the money they make from inking pre-designed tattoos to Santa's Anonymous, the same charity that once helped his family.
And I hope that we are able to provide presents, food, a general feeling of fullness in their house.
Like tattoos, Christmas memories make a permanent mark on our lives. So like his mom, Jesse's striving to make an indelible positive impact on other people's hearts. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
Now, Jesse's flash sale fundraiser in support of CFAC Santa's Anonymous is this Friday and Saturday at his Rebel Ink shop on Burnside Road West. And that is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night. Today on CTV News.
We really get anxious, nervous when we start to see the water levels rise.
We're on the flood watch as a blast of wet weather pounds Metro Vancouver and the Fraser Valley. Also tonight.
It's a win-win agreement. We're very satisfied with it.
Sigh of relief as a last-minute breakthrough averts a strike by Air Transat pilots.
We had to swerve out of the way, and get to the side of the road real quick.
A small plane makes an emergency landing on top of a car. The whole thing caught on dash cam video.
This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We start with breaking news as an atmospheric river is pounding the south coast. The Fraser Valley is getting hit especially hard and a local state of emergency has been declared there. In Abbotsford, an emergency operations center has opened after a flood warning was issued. CTV's Michelle Bernoro is live in the Sumas Prairie. Michelle, what are you seeing tonight?
Now, Nafisa, where we are now is not that far from the banks of the Sumas River, and you can see behind us the flooding that is happening in this park here. This is a very fluid situation, constantly changing. Late this afternoon, sirens went off across the border in Sumas, Washington, meaning that flooding there is imminent. On this side of the border, there is growing concern, growing tensions as the rain continues to pound Abbotsford. There are concerns throughout the Fraser Valley.
We really get anxious, nervous when we start to see the water levels rise. It's definitely concerning. It's not a friendly sound we used to like to hear. It's a sound that's a constant reminder of what we went through 4 years ago.
Now, residents have been seeing floods, flooding roadways, floods throughout the rivers and all over the place tonight. And farmers are incredibly concerned tonight. I talked to one farmer who is concerned about his heifers. He's got about 35 heifers in a barn, and he is worried that he is going to have to get all of them evacuated out of there. So this has been a very tense day. And as you can see in behind me, just how many problems there are going on here tonight. Nafisa?
A tense day and probably a long night as well. Thank you so much, Michelle. Now, evacuation orders and alerts have now been issued for some properties along the Chilliwack River. Craig Krause is following this in the Breaking News Center. Craig, what can you tell us?
Well, in the feast of this afternoon, the Fraser Valley Regional District ordered people living in 8 properties on Wilson Road in Chilliwack to leave due to immediate risk to life and safety. We're going to take a look at the area right now, and you can see it on your screens. There's 8 properties listed on Wilson Road that fall under the evacuation order. The district has also issued an evacuation alert for 12 properties along Chilliwack Lake Road. If you are in that alert area, the district says you must prepare to leave on short notice. Here's what the Minister of Emergency Management told reporters about the situation in the region.
We are in a very dynamic situation, and people and communities must prepare for potential flooding, particularly in low-lying areas. We're working directly with local governments and First Nations and partners in Washington State to ensure everyone has what they need to keep safe.
And Nafisa, as you just heard there, this is a dynamic situation, and we will be bringing you the latest on all of this throughout the evening. Nafisa?
Craig, thank you.
Yeah.
Now, Avalanche Canada is warning anyone heading into BC's backcountry about the high risk of a slide due to that atmospheric river. The agency has raised its avalanche risk levels with the highest hazard areas in the coastal mountains around Whistler and Terrace, as well as along the sea to sky. Anyone planning to be in avalanche terrain needs to have avalanche training, carry a transceiver, shovel, and probe. Avalanche Canada also advises people to check its forecast and take steps to keep themselves safe.
It's important that openings in visibility and kind of clearing skies don't have you dropping your guard prematurely and jumping into the wrong terrain for the conditions.
The province has issued its own notice to backcountry enthusiasts, reminding them of the dangers in the mountains and to have an emergency plan in place. From the trade war with the United States to the uncertainties surrounding Aboriginal land rights, the Premier had a lot to talk about as he addressed business leaders at the BC Chamber of Commerce. CTV's Legislative Bureau Chief Rob Buffum joins us live from Victoria. Rob, a tough crowd for the Premier today.
Well, that's right, Nafisa. It was a potentially hostile room that the Premier was addressing after a year of fiscal challenges. EB telling the BC Chamber of Commerce that his government was creating opportunities out of the challenges posed by President Trump's tariffs. Talking, for example, about expanding trade partners. He also acknowledged the impact of those tariffs on the BC economy.
Threats became tariff realities for many businesses. President Trump has completely upended the global trading order and the relationship that Canadians and British Columbians relied on. This has hit our forestry sector hardest of all.
Premier Eby stood in front of this same group a year ago and said he wanted a reset with the business community, and look what has happened in the last year.
The Premier also touted the success of his government in seeing various energy projects to the point of being shovel-ready. The opposition were quick to point out that under Eby, the province has accumulated a massive deficit after he inherited a $6 billion surplus. Another point of concern at this meeting or this gathering with the Chamber of Commerce was the issue of uncertainty and investment created by recent court cases involving Indigenous rights and Indigenous title. The Premier said today that he was going to bring amendments to DRIPA, the legislation governing Indigenous rights, during the spring session of the legislature. Nafisa.
Rob Buffum live in Victoria. Thank you, Rob. A man arrested in relation to an extortion-related shooting last month appeared in court today. 21-year-old Avtar Singh appeared in court virtually alongside an interpreter. Singh was arrested last month for his alleged involvement in a targeted shooting at a South Surrey mansion on November 12th. He has been charged with one count of unlawfully discharging a firearm. His next court appearance will be on Friday to confirm a bail hearing date. Mounties across the Lower Mainland are warning the public to be more aware in response to a recent rise in distraction thefts.
And what they're doing is they're trying to see if that person's wearing any jewelry, rings, bracelets, necklaces. Then they're either complimenting it or they're switching. So what they're doing is they're taking off the jewelry that the victim is wearing, replacing it with fake jewelry.
RCMP say suspects will often approach in groups of 3 asking for directions or saying they're having a medical emergency. The suspects will then try to engage in physical contact to search for jewelry before discreetly removing that jewelry and replacing it with a fake. Police are advising the public to remain vigilant and walk away from any suspicious person or behavior. After the break, the Rinkside Report.
Hughes in, stopped by Wobie, scores on his own rebound.
Trade talks swirling around the captain of the Canucks as the team flounders at the bottom of the NHL standings. Stay with us.
The Rinkside Report, brought to you by
CapitalDirect.ca. Let's make your vision a reality with Capital Direct. Call and talk to our team today.
It's been a rough go for the Vancouver Canucks this season. The team sits in last place in the NHL standings, and some believe their best player, Quinn Hughes, could soon be traded away. CTV's Kevin Chirac has tonight's Rinkside Report.
Blue line long shot tipped in.
A shutout loss Monday night to Detroit had fans filing out early, marking another low in a season full of disappointment.
In the Jim Rutherford, Patrick Allvin regime era, no, I have not seen it this bleak.
The team now sitting dead last in the NHL standings, fueling speculation their captain Quinn Hughes could soon be traded.
And then, of course, there's the whole Quinn Hughes speculation.
A very difficult spot for Canucks management right now.
Is it time to seriously consider trading Quinn Hughes?
The Canucks star is under contract till the end of next season, but hasn't committed to staying with the team long term. So the franchise could trade him to get maximum value in return.
The Vancouver Canucks have to make hard decisions and have to look out for number one, and that is them and their fans and their business.
CTV News caught up with Hughes at a charity event supporting the Langley Food Bank Wednesday. He made himself available for questions and addressed the elephant in the room. Are you intending on staying long term? Is there anything you'd like to say to fans at all?
I mean, right now I'm just focused on what I can control. We're in the middle of a season, and I can't even sign if I wanted to. I can't re-sign until July 1, so right now there's nothing I can do. So, I mean, for me, I'm just trying to, like I said, focus on what I can control and what I can do. And that's what I've been trying to do.
Hughes says he's not bothered by the talk about his future, but head coach Adam Foote says the chatter can have an impact on the team.
It can affect, for sure, our locker room. I have to give the guys credit. Like, they're in a tough spot hearing the noise, and they keep coming to work every day and keep doing their job. And they're pros. That's what they're supposed to do. But, to answer your question, they can hear it.
Meanwhile, goaltender Thatcher Demko is set to return from injury Thursday night against Buffalo, and center Elias Pettersson, who's missed a few games, is expected to return soon. Kevin Chirac, CTV News, Vancouver.
The Ringside Report, brought to you by Capital Direct.
CapitalDirect.ca.
Thousands of Air Transat passengers are breathing a sigh of relief as a pilot strike is averted. The pilots' union and Air Transat reached a tentative deal just hours before pilots were set to hit the picket lines. 750 pilots will now get a chance to vote to ratify the agreement. The union says the deal brings its members in line with industry standards and delivers on better job security, enhanced compensation, and more flexibility in scheduling. The airline calls it a complete overhaul of the pilots' collective agreement.
Found the right balance that will allow us to remain competitive, have competitive salaries, while preserving the DNA of offering affordable products to our customers.
About 20,000 flights have been canceled between yesterday and today, getting ready for a possible strike. Air Transat says the canceled flights won't be reinstated and ongoing reservations should not be affected. Travelers and points collectors could take advantage of a new partnership between a BC-based airline and one of Canada's biggest carriers. Harbour Air passengers can now earn points on their flights through Aeroplan, which is Air Canada's loyalty program. By next year, they can use those points to book flights on the seaplanes. An annual campaign has returned for the holidays with a goal of delivering more than 1,000 care packages to BC residents in need.
For a single mom on a very, very fixed income to get a little bit of relief, to give her maybe the opportunity to not have to make an impossible choice around feeding her family or buying a small gift, goes a long way.
Dozens of volunteers gathered at the Rocky Mountaineer Station in Vancouver today. The 'Cause We Care holiday drive aims to assemble and deliver 1,200 care packages for single mothers and low-income families in the Lower Mainland. This year's packages include an assortment of gifts and treats, along with a $100 Save on Foods gift card, all inside a Herschel backpack. After the break, homeward bound, we've got some lovely four-legged friends who need homes. Maybe you can help. And later, oh dear. It's not a reindeer, but it is a festive fiasco after a doe crashed its way through a Christmas store. Plus, Anne's forecast is next. Ooh, a soggy look up Robson Street. We have been pounded by rain all day, Anne.
And it's going to continue as we head through this evening with this atmospheric river, as you can see on our satellite radar imagery, bringing in a whole lot of rain and causing some warnings pretty much across the south coast. A yellow warning of rainfall in effect for Metro Vancouver, western sections of Vancouver Island, as well as the Kootenay region and Elk Valley. So that's localized and it's short term, but in orange, the warning is in fact for the Fraser Valley, stretching to Hope and Highway 3 to Hope Princeton. 90 to 130 millimeters of rain expected. It is more severe, which is widespread and impactful, and it could last multiple days, which we are seeing right now. So flood warnings in effect for the Fraser Valley, flood watch for the Similkameen region, and high stream flow advisory for everywhere else in yellow, with the rainfall moving its coming down, as well as the melting snowpack, so causing these problems right now. For the southern interior, you're looking at a dry day tomorrow with some sunny breaks for Kamloops and Kelowna. Overcast skies for Vernon, mix of sun and cloud for Osoyoos, Nelson, Cranbrook. You'll see some sunny breaks in there. Beautiful day in store for the central interior. Lots of sunshine from Prince George right down to Williams Lake. Dry with some sunny breaks for Bella Coola with a high of 3 degrees. Ridge of high pressure for the northern half of the province. Sunny skies minus 29 for Dees Lake. A few clouds for Prince Rupert. You're looking at mostly cloudy skies for Terrace with a high of 0 for the North Island. Sunny breaks for Port Hardy, Campbell River and Comox with temperatures between 7 and 8 for the South Island. Showers for Tofino and Port Alberni. Other than that, mostly cloudy skies from Nanaimo right down to Victoria with temperatures between 9 and 10 for the Sunshine Coast. Sunny breaks and 8. Gray skies up the Sea to Sky Highway. Squamish at 7. A few showers for Whistler at 4. And for us across the Lower Mainland, mostly cloudy skies. Still pretty balmy out there with temperatures between 9 and 10 degrees. Enjoy it. We'll see light rain on Friday. On Saturday, we'll start off dry. Showers return in the afternoon. And then it'll be soggy for Sunday and Monday. Warm temperatures, though, between 11 and 12 degrees.
Ski season is just not going to happen for me, is it?
Unfortunately. Water skiing season, though.
Thanks, Anne.
You're welcome.
Well, it's time for Homeward Bound, our weekly segment where we introduce you to furry friends from local rescues looking for their forever home.
And here are some pets from the BC SPCA.
Meet Tucker, a 7-year-old pit bull with a lot of love to give. He's described as gentle, cuddly, and happiest when he's by his human side. Tucker's looking for a home where someone is around most of the time and able to give him regular medication for hyperthyroidism. He is available to be adopted at the SPCA's Maple Ridge branch.
Adorable. And Lawson is a 1-year-old male cat with a mysterious side since he came in as a stray. As both a love bug and a lover of toys and interactive games, the SPCA says Lawson is a perfect mix of cuddly and adventurous. He's looking for a forever home where he can build confidence and share his big heart. You can meet him at the Richmond branch.
Love his little white paws. Well, Harvey is a 3-year-old bull mastiff that also came to the SPCA as a stray. Staff describe him as a true gentle giant. He loves lounging in his bed, collecting pets and scritches, and sniffing around the yard. A home with a fenced yard would be ideal for a dog his size. Harvey is available to adopt from the Richmond branch.
Oh, look at that face. And for more information, head to adopt.spca.bc.ca.
Thank you, Anne.
You're welcome.
Well, after the break, a 4-legged intruder busts into a Christmas store, plus some wild moments on a busy highway.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Shocking video of a plane crashing into a moving vehicle, and somehow no one was badly hurt. Stay tuned for Take a Look at This. We'll be right back. Taylor Swift has made Billboard history again. Her album, The Life of a Showgirl, tops the 2025 year-end Billboard 200 chart, marking her 5th time at #1. Swifties will have more to celebrate this Friday when her 6-part docuseries and concert film, recorded right here in Vancouver, will debut on Disney+. A rock legend just got a royal upgrade. The Who's lead singer is now Sir Roger Daltrey. He was knighted today by Prince William for his contributions to music and charity. Daltrey has championed the Teenage Cancer Trust for years, organizing the charity's annual fundraiser concerts at London's Royal Albert Hall since 2000. He says he's humbled by the knighthood, which was first announced back in June. Now with a preview of CTV News at 6, Mi Jung Lee.
Nafisa, the atmospheric river pounding the south coast has prompted flood warnings. The Fraser Valley is on high alert. Some roads have been shut down and fields in the Sumas Prairie have turned into lakes. We talked to farmers worried they could see a repeat of the disaster they saw 4 years ago. And chronically ill patients are devastated. They are worried a clinic that has changed their lives will be dismantled. How the province is responding. And more questions about why the man accused of killing Bailey McCord in Kelowna was granted bail on an earlier charge. That's ahead on CTV News.
Thanks, Mi Jung. A terrifying moment captured on a highway when a plane appears out of nowhere to make an emergency landing. Plus, a deer in the holiday spirit does whatever it takes to maybe get a closer look at some Christmas decorations. Here's CNN's Jeremy Roth with Take a Look at This.
Wild video from Florida shows the moment a small plane making an emergency landing crashes down on top of a car traveling on a highway. The wild video was captured on dash cam by a father and son who had a too close for comfort view of the shocking turn of events on Interstate 95.
I've never gotten like a front row seat of that. Like we were the car right behind the damage. It was so scary. You know, the debris started coming at us and we had to swerve out of the way, you know, and get to the side of the road real quick.
Amazingly, the driver of the vehicle escaped with only minor injuries, and neither of the plane's 2 occupants were injured, according to Brevard County and FHP officials. The NTSB is now investigating what led to the shocking incident and will be looking at things like flight track data, communications, maintenance records, and the pilot's license and flight experience. A smaller crash led police in Tennessee to a local holiday-themed store, which had been broken into by a deer. And before you get excited, no, unfortunately, it wasn't a reindeer. It was just a regular old doe. A deer. A female deer, actually. But Jonesboro officers did have to figure out how to rein in the uninvited guest, which smashed through the entry and made its way to the back of the store, where it arose quite a clatter, eventually getting itself wedged in a wooden armchair.
Let's get her out.
The chair actually provided a convenient carrying case of sorts, allowing the officers to easily transport the flailing and wailing animal back outside, where it clambered off into the night. The department shared the video online, where it immediately drew comparisons to other recent high-profile animal-in-store shenanigans. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
A lot of critter content today, Anne, because we've got a German Shepherd in Manitoba that's going viral for his loyalty, not only towards his humans, but his job as well. There he is. For the last 2 years, Ozzy hasn't missed a single day of escorting his humans, Winnie and Oaks, to and from the school bus. Rain or shine, the shepherd walks the kids to the end of the driveway every morning and greets them when they return home. Now, this video alone received nearly 3 million views on TikToks, creating a following for Bus Stop Ozzy.
Now, that's a nanny dog. He's doing his job right.
Doing his job.
All right, let's take a look at our scenic snapshot for tonight. A break in the rain for Haida Gwa. Thanks, Caroline, for sending this beautiful photo in, and we want to see your scenic snapshot as well, so email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
Very dramatic. I like it. Hey, Mi Jung will be back for CTV News at 6. Right now, here's Sandy Ronaldo with CTV National News. Stay dry out there.